It's the second day in Kyoto, and we're doing a tour this morning. Monkey Park, Bamboo Forest, and a temple. And it's gonna be just the 4 of us right now. Some of the others had to drop out for various reasons. Personal reasons I'm not gonna get into, but we're stopping by the family mart because we have a little bit of time. And then once we do the tour, we're essentially heading back to Kyoto Station to go back to Tokyo. So it's really kind of an in and out. I felt like we got a little time here. The tour last night was great. I got out of kind of Kyoto what I wanted, and I'm gonna see some more today. But yeah, come and join us on our tour and running around the second day of Kyoto. This happened to us yesterday when we were going to the temple, not the tour, but the one with all the torii gates. We ended up taking an express line that took us past, and we had to kind of go backwards. Well, we're doing the same thing here because there are local trains and express trains, and Google is giving us right information, but we're not cross-checking the times. We're looking at the right track, but the wrong train. Anyway, we ended up in this pretty cool mountain town. I'm not exactly sure we are. Kamioka, I think it is. But we passed some beautiful views on the way here. Like, it would go through tunnels and you'd come out and you have this beautiful mountain view with a waterfall coming out of it. And then, I mean, there's a town over here, obviously. This looks kind of like a bus station. But I was gonna say, this is how the majority of Japanese people live, but that's not true. The majority of Japanese people actually live in Tokyo or in the surrounding areas. But it's amazing how far you go out and just these beautiful mountains everywhere. It's a volcanic island, so it's just formed in a gorgeous way. Wow. The views are spectacular. So we have plenty of time to get to our tour. We left way early just for these kinds of situations. And you end up going to places you didn't expect and still having a good time. I live in Denver and I do see mountains every day. So this isn't completely unusual, but these are really different kinds of mountains and they're very, very forested. Plus there's those little cities in there that look like Japanese cities, which I don't see every day. So this is pretty nice. Oh, someone's garden. Wow. Oh, look at these fields. What are they growing? Is it rice? Probably. I always thought rice fields were more wet.
Wheat. Soy?
Could be soy.
Could be soy.
Not sure. We're just kind of guessing, but it's pretty cool to look. And then some industrial drainage. Not the most beautiful thing, but an important piece of city design. Wow. We think we're on the right train now. So they have these signs to be considerate, right? Like one of them is don't be a chatty bird. There's some people with those birds. This one is like don't be a rude squid, because you can see all the legs on the squid there. That's pretty cool. We're figuring this out from context. Adjacent to the train station is essentially a parking lot for bikes. I don't think these are rentals. There's a sign here, it doesn't say, but I think people can just come store their bikes here when they're taking the train, and then they'll just come back and get them like we would with a car going to light rail or something. While we're waiting, it's only about 5 more minutes until our guide is supposed to be here, although there were some delays, so they may be late. I wanted to show you some of the stuff you can get. This is like a 7-Eleven kiosk. 7-Elevens here are not like they are back home. I mean, they are in a way, but there's a lot more you can do at them. And I think they carry a broader range of stuff. They have a lot of hot food and cold food. You know, now that I think about it, maybe they're not that different, just what they carry. But we've been going to like a family mart, but there's also Lawson's, 7-Eleven, that kind of thing. Anyway, I don't know what these things are. I'll read some of the stuff I can tell. They have masks if you need them, of course. Face products. Mentos. Dual flavor, it looks like. Apple and green apple? Yeah, I guess so. There's one that looks like, oh yeah, grape, like green grapes and red grapes. Some kiwi flavored stuff. That looks like lemon. Organic sweet chestnuts. Wow. You just usually come across chestnuts in America. This looks like some kind of mochi stuff. Green tea mochi. cinnamon cookies. Ooh. And these are some kind of dessert snacks. I saw some, yeah, sour cream and onion flavored potato chips, butter and soy sauce flavored potato chips, soy rice crackers with seaweed, cheese corn snacks, probably like cheese doodles or something, corn chips with cheese on them, and then some ramen down there, and you can throw some water in for your lunch later today if you want to. They also have a lot of cold stuff, drinks, food. Looks like they're pretty wiped out from their food selection. It's something like that that I've been getting the egg salad sandwiches every morning, although we had breakfast this morning, so I didn't get those. I may get one later. But you see, just little stuff, and then Mentos. They have xylitol. I don't know if you remember those. They're little mints, but they were sugar-free mints, named after the fake sugar, xylitol. And they have umbrellas, because it gets rainy here. More cookies and snacks. So just something you can grab when you're running to the train station. If you didn't have time to pack something this morning. It's pretty cool. One other thing that's interesting here is they have lockers in the train stations. So we actually used one to kind of throw most of our junk in and not have to carry it around. Because, you know, we were here overnight and we stored it at the hotel, but we weren't going to go all the way back to the hotel. Because once we leave here, we're just going to go back directly to Kyoto Station and take the Shinkansen back. But, and we could have carried our stuff around all day, but for 400 yen, you can get a locker. So we threw our stuff in there, except for this day stuff that we want to carry around. And because we're going to come back to the station before we leave and then grab it all out and go. But in America, because of threats of terrorism and bombings, they, or the threat, not specific threats, the threat of terrorism and bombings, they took a lot of the lockers out. So there used to be like lockers in Grand Central Station and Penn Station and other train stations. But now they took them out because they're worried about that. Here it was trash cans. They had a sarin gas attack back in the 80s, I think it was. It was a really big deal at the time and killed a lot of Japanese people, and so they took out all of the trash cans. And so now when you're walking around, you kind of pack out your trash. Occasionally you'll come through areas where you can recycle stuff, and occasionally you'll see a trash can, but they aren't as ubiquitous as you would think they are. And like in the subways, you almost never see them. But yeah, just a few coin lockers if you need to use them, which is pretty cool. So you don't have to carry junk around all day, especially people like us that are tourists. So we're traveling along. There's supposed to be some other people on the tour, two other groups of people, some Italians, and I'm not sure what the other ones are, but there are some train delays coming from Osaka. So our guide was slightly late, but the other people are a little more late. So they're gonna meet us at the first stop rather than at the station. And we had a really cool encounter. So we came across some trees. I don't think it's these same trees here, but I saw something on the ground that looked kind of like cherries, but they were very lightly colored. So we asked him what kind of fruit that was, and he asked a dude that was outside, a Japanese dude, and it turns out it was nuts. You just peel off the outside and there's some kind of nut on the inside, and we're not sure what kind it is. Supposedly it's good for male fertility. You like eat those nuts and it's supposed to increase your fertility. And he opened it up and gave one to Josh. Josh wasn't gonna eat it. But it was a really cool interaction to watch this guy just talk Japanese with somebody just randomly down the street. And we all had a moment that was kind of funny. We're bamboo forest adjacent right now, and we'll be going into it sooner, or later I should say, sooner rather than later, because I think it's right around the corner. But we're going in the back entrance because the front entrance is very crowded and the back entrance is less crowded, all they said due to, you know, people putting it up on blogs and vlogs like mine. Secret places are no longer secret, but everyone should enjoy it in the world. People should know how to do things right. I'm not sure if you can see this, but there's a big spider in there. Probably a huntsman. It's pretty cool. Rules of the bamboo forest. Look at those. Don't use a tripod. That's get people to say no eating and drinking, of course. Scribbling or vandalizing, that should go without saying, but you know. And go clockwise, which we're about to do. Bamboo can grow up to half a meter a day. That's how fast it can grow, and because of that, it was used for torture. I'm not going to go too much into that, neither did our guide. I know how it was used. You can look it up if you want to, but it is an implement. And there are some people who are on rickshaws coming through. And you can do that. I don't know how much that costs, but I'm sure that would be a very fun experience. Wow, doing rickshaws, those dudes have amazing legs. Wow, lots of spiders and spider webs. This here is a graveyard. We've seen a lot of them as we've been going on the trains and stuff. They cremate everybody here. Everyone's either Shinto or Buddhist, and they cremate people and they put them here. Pretty amazing. We're getting more towards the center of the bamboo forest, but going up a hill here, as you can see, it's just both sides of the path. Lots of people here, very crowded. It's a popular attraction, and you can see why, because it's amazing. It's not like you can just see this everywhere in the world. Look how tall they are too. Here's a map of the temple that we're in, and we came in through the north entrance. We're going to be leaving through the main hall. We have about 20 minutes to just kind of run around the paths. This is just kind of a Zen garden area that you can walk around in. And there's a frog that grants wishes over there. As long as you can hit the plate with a coin, you can make a wish and they will come true. So it's the frog can't just grant people's wishes. You have to do stuff. You have to pay for your wishes. Help him help you, people. Not sure if you can hear that, but you can hear monks chanting. Just wandering around the Zen garden here. There's a, I don't know if it's considered a temple. There's a building over there. And we've seen these before, and one side is usually open and the other side has sort of a crescent. I wonder if it's like phases of the moon. There's only two though. Yeah, you only see the full and the crescent. I like crescent moon shapes. But this is a very beautiful Zen garden. I keep seeing a lot of spiders. I mean, I don't mind spiders, honestly, that's not the thing, but like every time I brush against a bush, I always think a spider's moved onto my arm or something. And I just gently brush it away, but it's surprising when it happens. These trees have like little leaves. And then there's another building over here too. So there's just a lot of little paths you can wander on here. There's one that kind of goes up towards the top, quote unquote. I don't think it's that high, but you can overlook a lot of stuff. We're kind of working our way down the path because we came in one entrance and we're leaving through another entrance. We're just working our way that way so we know where we need to be at the end of the allotted time. We have found a koi pond. The koi over there, I'm not sure. I'll see whenever let's see if we can see him a little better. Oh, look at this big fish over here. Josh, look at this huge fish. Oh, he's doing a panorama. He's going to miss the fishy. I'm sure it'll come around. There's somewhere over there. It's just not, it went this way. Yeah, it was really big. We might come around again. Wow. This is the very definition of picturesque. Because you've got the mountain, beautiful lake, Zen garden, koi fish, excuse me. Wow, that one's huge too. Oh, there's a little one down there. These are onis, which are demons, and you can put them on your house like you see up there, and they keep the evil spirits away. There's kind of our group over here. All right, we're done with the garden, heading off to a new place. Here are pictures of the same garden, just different seasons. So winter, obviously, fall, which you think we'd be in fall now, but it's not gonna start again for another month. And then there's during the blossoming of the, that's spring essentially, cherry blossoms. Summer. This is the temple we were just in. We went in sort of the back entrance. I think that's sort of the main entrance. and now we're walking down the street. Quaint little shops along the Kyoto street, and lots of tourists. But we are tourists and we're doing touristy things, so that's okay. The tourists I'm willing to tolerate because I am also a tourist. And these cylinders are all fabric. And my understanding is that they light up at night. Oh, people wearing beautiful kimonos, taking pictures. Wow. This specifically says do not throw coins, which is interesting to me because there are coins in there. And usually if you see something like this, they want you to throw coins in it. So that is surprising. Wishes are granted, the dragon that landed in it is prayed to. This is one of our tour group people. This is essentially you put your hands in and then you can like put some on your face, or Josh can put some on his head, and so did our guide, and it's a cleansing and purifying. Wow. So I'm getting one of those mochi things. I really wanted to try this, and a green tea. Thank you.
That's so easy going. You're still like chill.
Here we go. That's fine. So we have milk and matcha ice cream. This is one of those like warm mochi things. And we got a couple of bao buns. One is pork and one is beef. I'm not sure what's what.
I think that's beef.
But we're gonna try those. So we're stopping for a little bit of lunch before we take the hike up to the Monkey Park. Another picturesque view. Birds in the sky. Beautiful foliage covered mountains. A waterfall. People out on boats. Oh my gosh. This is beautiful and gorgeous. And while we're watching this, I'll tell you about our lunch. The milk tea, or not milk tea, the milk and matcha ice cream was very good. The cone was really good too. As far as cones go, I mean, we've all had ice cream cones. This one was particularly a good one. I didn't like either of the bao buns. The buns themselves were fine, but the stuff inside them, I didn't like whatever the meat was cooked in with the marinade. So Josh finished those. I ended up going to a Tully's Coffee and getting a bacon and cheese and tomato, like in bread sort of thing. Like a Hot Pocket, but not quite, and it was better than a Hot Pocket. And then we are heading off now to the Monkey Park, I think, which we understand is gonna be a bit of a hike. So, we had to load up on our food, get some energy, so that we can continue with the tour. I'm gonna do a full disclosure here that I don't really like monkeys. And it's really not the monkeys' fault. And the reason why, when I was a kid growing up in the 80s, every sitcom would always have some episode with a monkey in it, usually chimpanzee. And then chimpanzee would do the same thing, the chimpanzee smile thing and the pumping of the arm thing, and it was just a gimmick. And even as a kid, I recognized that it was a gimmick that was happening in 80s shows, and for some reason I just hated it. And that has tainted me against monkeys forever. So it's really more of a joke. I don't really dislike monkeys. I really don't. And I'm really looking forward to seeing some here. I like all animals, really, except for jerk animals. You know the ones. And anyway, it's I am looking forward to this, going here. I wasn't sure about this tour at first, but when the Monkey Park came up, I'm like, oh man, how often do you get an opportunity to go to a monkey park? And so I took it, and that's where we're on our way to. Like I said before, he said it's a bit of a hike, so it's okay because it's a walking tour, and we are ready to go. Oh my, look at these boats. I love how the old style boat, but it has a modern motor on it. Wow. These are so cool. Oh, hey, guess we're heading up to the monkey park. There's the picture of a monkey. I'm a big fan of this river. If I lived near a river, I'd go sit at it all the time. Oh, made it to the top. Not quite the top. You can see it up there. There's a monkey. Little monkey running up there. There's one over here in this tree. Hanging out. Oh, that looks like a small one up there. It's just kind of running. Wow. Oh, there's a little one. Hey, little monkey. Some rules to follow. Not to look them in the eyes. Not to feed them. Not to take any pictures on the way up, because apparently somebody was taking pictures and video and they fell down and had to be airlifted out. It was a whole thing. So they changed the rules. Other than the monkeys, you have an incredible view of the city of Kyoto over here. I'll get closer. I'm sweating my eyes. That walk up here is no joke. It is up some stairs, up some steep paths. It said it'd take about 20 minutes, but it didn't take us 20 minutes to do that. But we were moving at a pretty good pace. Josh and I are walkers and runners, and of course we're from a mile-high city. So being down here, we're not quite at sea level, but we're close enough that we're getting super powered from all the oxygen. So yeah, I was huffing and puffing a little bit on the way up here, just like anybody would be, but I get over it really fast. It doesn't take me very long to catch my breath. But check this out. It's Kyoto, and it's amazing. Truly incredible. Let me zoom in a little. You get the beautiful mountains in the background and some hills like in the middle of the city, like right there. Of course, the river down here below. I mean, I don't have a sense of bearings, but I'm sure that river eventually winds around and goes right next to where we were yesterday on the tour. And then occasionally you'll see some bushes over there shaking. Yeah, it stopped now, but that means that there's a monkey in there shaking the bushes and the trees. I mean, I know you're looking at the video, but I cannot describe to you how amazing it is to stand up here and look at this, to view something so different than what you're used to. I will hold on to this picture in my mind forever. I mean, I'll have the video, but this is one of those moments in time that you will hold on to if you experience it. Oh, there's a mama and a baby on the butt. Look at that. That's so incredible. There's another one over here. They're just walking around amongst the people. They're probably so used to people by now. Mama and the baby went over by the water. I'm gonna head that way. Oh, there's a mister over here. That feels really good too. And there's a nice breeze up here. It's been a sunny day. It's 85 degrees. But there we go, Mama and the baby. Hanging out at the monkey park with the monkeys and the baby monkeys. What an incredible view. We climbed up to the highest point you can get to. A couple of monkeys are up here up to monkey business. Just kind of digging in a hole or something, maybe going for ants or something, I don't know. We read that they do like beetles and cicadas. Please come to our neighborhood and eat all the cicadas. They just sit up in the trees and scream all day. There's more over there. We can't go any further, but I can see a whole bunch. Oh, there's a mama and a couple babies over there in the further back. I take back Look what I said. These monkeys are adorable.
These
They're
are
just
the
kinda
ones-
hanging out.
These are the ones that do the dumb things in sitcoms.
Yeah, exactly.
These are monkeys that are just living life. The only type of monkey that
Yeah.
exists. in
The
Japan.
only type of monkey that is indigenous to Japan are these kinds of monkeys.
These are the capuchin, right?
No,
these
they're
are
not
the macaques.
Yeah, macaque, I think.
I think that's correct.
Is that? Nope. Wow. The tour is over and we're walking back to the station. It's a really good tour. I'll talk more about it in a little bit, but there's some kind of, event happening here. I don't know what's going on. We're just kind of walking past it. Oh, look, there's a little thing walking around with a shrine. Okay. Something's happening. Oh, I love these kinds of unexpected treats. Oh man. The tour was pretty good. Our guide, his name was Aaron. He has multiple citizenship, spoke English. It started out a little rough, not because of Aaron, but because there were train delays coming from Osaka. I don't know why, but he lives in Osaka, so he was a little bit delayed, but only by about 5 minutes. But the other people who were coming on the tour, other than us, were also delayed. So they had to meet us at the first stop. And so it started a little late because of that. And then, you know, at that point, it's sort of like herding cats. There were 4 Italians. Only one of them really spoke English. But he spoke Italian, our guide, so he would be able to say things to them in Italian. Or the person who did speak English, she would kind of relay what he was saying to them about directions and things like that. So it ended up being pretty good. But again, herding cats. It was, the things we did were great. Going to the bamboo forest, walking around the temple, the monkey park was a lot of fun. It was no joke walking up to the top of that mountain though, but it was so worth it. The beautiful view of Kyoto and all the monkeys running around. It was pretty awesome. Now we're heading back to Kyoto Station so that we can take the Shinkansen back to Tokyo, meet up with the rest of the group, and see what to do about dinner tonight. It's our last night together because 2 people are leaving tomorrow, 2 other people are leaving on Sunday. Many of us are leaving on Monday, including me, and then others are staying to next Saturday. So tonight's our last night to do something together. There was talk of doing karaoke. I would still love to do that. We'll see how people feel. And hopefully we all get to do dinner together, at least this one time. Yeah, Calvin is saying karaoke. He's the one who's carrying the water for that, and I'm on board with that. We were thinking about it last night, but after the tour, oh man, I was wiped. But tonight, you know, we'll spend 2.5 hours on the Shinkansen. I'll have rested quite a bit, you know, get some dinner, do some karaoke. I think it'll be fun. Not everyone wants to sing, but that's not the point. You can just go there and have fun, you know, drink, eat, have a little fun. Some people can sing. It doesn't matter whether you can sing or not. That's not what it's about. And typically karaoke here is like in a room, right? Like you're not just doing it out in front of a bar of people like you might be doing it in America. You get these rooms where you have your own, so like strangers aren't around you when you're doing it, so there's no need to be embarrassed. You can just be embarrassed in front of your friends, which is the best kind of being embarrassed. I showed you in yesterday's video, or Josh did, the food and the parfaits, but it is very common here to have food or like pictures of your food made, and these are all specially made by companies, and they're expensive, like really expensive to create these, but it's just a display of what you might have. But all of this is fake, like it's not real. It's all been made to look and painted and shaped and everything to look like the food that they're offering, so you know what to come here and get. It's a pretty cool idea. Rather than having pictures on a menu, which they also have as well, they have actual versions of what you might get. In Japan at McDonald's, they have like shrimp nuggets, which I'm not getting, but I am getting the shrimp filet-o, which is essentially kind of like a fillet of fish, but it's shrimp inside instead of fish. I've been looking forward to this. I can't wait to try it. I love shrimp, and this is the only place as far as I know that serves something like that. Maybe later in the trip I'll try the shrimp nuggets, but right now I'm happy with just trying the sandwich. Here you'll see a Shinkansen train coming, and you can see what the nose looks like since it goes so fast. There you go. Pretty cool, huh? Most of the seats, I mean, you can get reserved seats on this, but there are cars that are not reserved. We have reserved seats. You pay a little bit extra. It's not that much extra. You just pay a little bit. But otherwise, you can just sit in open seating in like the first 3 cars. We're on the Shinkansen now. Not sure if you can see the shrimp in there, but it's actually really good. Yeah, I would eat this again. We also got some gyoza, 10 of them for 360 yen, which is
$3.
less than $3. That is for 10. That is amazing. And are they good? Josh says they're good.
Yes.
We'll talk more about them later. I don't want to do too much on the train. We are back in Tokyo after this nice Shinkansen ride, and we're doing Korean barbecue. Most of us, not everybody. Some people wanted to go and have Wagyu beef. Evan and Hannah there last night, and they hadn't done that yet, so that's where they are, as well as Will. But the rest of us are here having some Korean barbecue. I'm looking forward to trying it. You like cook it yourself on the little hot, fire here. Why can I not think of words? It's been a long day. I'm tired. It was a rewarding day, but it's been long. Here's what the menu looked like, and the things you could choose. Some interesting stuff on here. Raw horse meat. Nobody ordered that. And then here is other stuff so you can see, and then some drinks. All right, so we got some of the meat cooking in there. Marshall's doing a really good job of it, and Calvin got the spicy salad. Most of us got just rice, which is just plain old rice, but rice is good. And Calvin got the mushrooms over there. And looks like Eric got some just like vegetables, assorted vegetables, and then some of the meat over there. There is some of the cooked meat, my rice, of course, the salad. I'm cooking some more of my meat right now. And we still have a Korean pancake coming. And there's an onion on there too, which I'm gonna have in just a second. One thing I forgot to mention was that we're all sitting on tatami mats. We had to take off our shoes, sit on the tatami mat, cook our own food here. So this was very authentically Japanese at a Korean barbecue. Yeah, I mean, you can see we devastated the food. It was so good. This is Chris from the future, and I realized when I was editing this that I forgot to do an outro for this. In my defense, I was exhausted. It was a very long day, and we just had some great food, and so I probably just went back and crashed after that, which is fine. Sleep was important, but it's more than a week later, and I've had a lot of time to think about it. And at first, I was worried about going to Kyoto, taking time away from Tokyo, because when we were doing 2 days in Disney and then 2 days in Kyoto, and that left us only so much time in Tokyo. But I'm really glad that we went to Kyoto. It was really nice to see a different flavor of Japan. I mean, I've always wanted to ride on a bullet train ever since I knew they existed, and I did that. Interestingly enough, it wasn't as exciting as I thought it would be, but I'm still really glad I did it. You just can't really tell you're going that fast, and so it just feels like a normal train ride. But anyway, I'm glad we went there. I'm glad that we did the tours. I enjoy taking tours because I like to contextualize what I'm seeing. It makes more sense to me, and then it also helps make more sense when I revisit places that are similar to places I've already visited. Like in yesterday's video, for example, I knew that this was a Shinto temple because of what people were doing there, the kinds of things that were there, and so it's nice to start having some understanding. But yeah, thank you for joining us on our journey through the second day in Kyoto and then our trip back to Tokyo, and we will see you in the next videos.